It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise.
Good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, TGIF. I am Philip Simon.
And I am Mark Daniels filling in for Star. Once again, I told you you're not getting this chair back. And I am keeping it forever.
Listen, Mark, it's been just a wonderful week.
has.
It's been a reflective week, actually, as we prepare tomorrow for the homegoing celebration of the life and the wonderful legacy of my mother-in-law, Pernell Jones. We're upbeat, trying to, be as stable as we can. Will be hard, but it's such a wonderful, she was such a beautiful person. Can't help but celebrate those 72 years.
Yeah, and that's the importance of celebrating someone's life.
Yeah.
We know we miss them.
Absolutely.
And we miss their presence, but to celebrate them is to give them appropriate honor.
Absolutely,
And so-
absolutely. You're gonna be celebrating tomorrow.
Yes, and so along the lines of celebration,
Valentine baby. Okay.
it's my dad's birthday.
Okay.
But anyway. Yes, so tomorrow is the most important day on the Bahamian calendar. It is going to be my birthday tomorrow, November 10th. So,
Tell you, parking lot celebration.
telling you. So, all gifts, monetarily, all things you want to give to me, you can send here to the studio or directly to my house. So, tomorrow when I wake up, I'm just going to lay in bed. And I'm just going to wait for everything to happen around me. Breakfast, people are going to come dress me. I'm not doing anything tomorrow.
You got one day of the year and you're gonna
One
maximize
day, I'm
it.
gonna milk
Absolutely.
that.
You gotta get a milk that. Listen, how old are you gonna be?
I'm going to be 34.
All right, excellent. All right.
I was born in 1984, the same year that Michael Jackson's Bad album came out.
I tell you, you're giving all kind of hints. But listen, people, don't box it. But anyway, listen, we've got a great show lined up for you. Dr. Carlos Thomas is back in the studio to be talking about HIV in infants. I mean, you don't hear this very often, but apparently it does happen.
Yes, very important topic, and we love having Dr. Thomas here on the set. We always learn so much from him.
Definitely. We have the Bridging the Gap segment. We're going to be talking about Rehabilitation Week coming up next week. And we've got an in-depth look at the WTO. I mean, we're coming close to the end of the year, and obviously we've made a decision, and we have to move forward with it.
Along those lines, childhood obesity is an important topic, and we hopefully will hear some more about that today. But Ayanna Clark is here.
The
She's back
songbird.
to sing her
Absolutely.
new song called Satisfied. But we've also got your live weekend calendar. And if you have weekend events you'd like to include in the live weekend calendar, please email your information to kalbury@tclbahamas.com to have them featured for free in the calendar on our show every Friday. Don't forget to send me and Phil our
I know, I was
VIP
about to say.
passes, comp stuff. Directly to me, my birthday is tomorrow, don't forget. And now, let's take a look at the weather with good old brother Godfrey Burnside, the guy with the spry.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First in Insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, guys, and good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather at sunrise. Surface chart shows that we have high pressure that's now shifting towards the east, making way for a cold front to move near the extreme northwest Bahamas, Grand Bahama, Abaco, late Saturday evening. That should stall just to the north of Grand Bahama on Sunday afternoon. A second front expected to push it through sometime by next week. In your weather today, we're looking at mostly sunny and warm, but there's a chance of a few brief passing showers. High temperature 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a few showers. The low temperature going down to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 81 and 76. In Jamaica 81 and 71. In Trinidad 85 and 76. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 87 and 76. Across North America, Atlanta 63 and 48. In Raleigh 59 and 48. Miami 85 and 75, Dallas, Texas 55 and 43, and Toronto, Canada 40 and 35. For the better look, nice looking weekend stuff. Weather-wise, a cold front moves near Grand Bahama on Saturday evening, moves closer on Sunday. That just stalled, but a second front should move through on Tuesday or Wednesday this next week. So therefore, for the weekend, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures. There's a chance a couple of showers, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas, in the vicinity of Grand Bahama and Abaco. But by Tuesday or Wednesday, increasing cloudiness and showers, even a possible thunderstorm. Daytime temperature, daytime temperature to the upper 80s at daytime, at nighttime in the mid to upper 70s. But behind that cool front, we expect a cool down. That puts a wrap on your first look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. The question has been asked, does HIV affect infants? Unfortunately, the answer to the question is yes. We're very pleased to be joined once again in the studio by Dr. Carlos Thomas. He is a pediatrician and no stranger to Bahamas at Sunrise. Welcome back, Doc.
Thank you. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Most people not associate HIV with infants, but there is something called mother-to-child transmission. Can you explain how that happens to us?
Yes. If a mother is pregnant and HIV positive, she can transfer the virus through the placenta after birth into the baby's body. And so sadly, a baby could be born with HIV infection.
Wow.
But the good news is that it's largely preventable.
Okay, I was about to ask, how can we prevent something like that from happening?
Well, let's start at the beginning. If you're not HIV positive as a mother when you're pregnant, you can't pass it on.
Right.
But the good news is that we now have very, very good antiretroviral medications that are effective in decreasing the amount of HIV available, the CD4 count. So you heard about the CD4 count. It's a very important part of our body's immune system.
Okay.
It's a white cell called a lymphocyte that's very important in protecting us from infections.
Okay.
And with HIV, the CD4 count is decreased. So the first thing is mom has to be on medication. Okay. And then also, during labor, we call this intrapartum therapy, that also decreases the risk. So a mother who's positive for HIV, who's pregnant, who takes her medications regularly, who gets medication during the delivery period, the chance of transmitting is less than 2%, which is fantastic news.
That's perfect. Yeah, definitely. Is this a problem that we see often here in the Bahamas?
We don't often see babies who are positive, not often.
Okay.
However, you'll be surprised how many women do not go to prenatal care. So sadly we have some women who deliver and they haven't seen a doctor. And so it's very important to have the diagnosis early in pregnancy so treatment can begin.
Right. And let's say, unfortunately, if an infant is born with HIV, I mean, is it a death sentence from birth or?
Without treatment, it ultimately is.
Okay.
The duration of time from when the child becomes infected to when they die without treatment varies. Could be years, could be up to 5 years, could be longer.
Wow.
But there's symptoms and signs that develop. For example, failure to thrive, meaning the child doesn't grow and develop properly. There may be swollen lymph glands. There may be a protuberant abdomen because the liver and spleen gets bigger.
Wow.
They get what we call opportunistic infections, infections that don't ordinarily affect people with healthy immune system. They get thrush, severe diaper rash, and so on. Diarrhea.
I mean, you talk about it in the first instance. It's the first instance, try to avoid that particular. But what type of help is there available to communities, to men and women, with regards to preventing this disease?
The HIV program is pretty impressive in the Bahamas. Men and women who are positive can avail themselves of treatment at very little or no cost. So that's great news for the Bahamas. And it's very important to have early detection. So if you're an adult, you need to get tested. We want to encourage patients, people in general to get tested for HIV. That's done usually when you give blood or you try to donate blood. But it's very important to know your status. And then certainly if you're positive, you want to make sure you start your medication and be consistent with your medication. And your life could be there for many years.
Many years.
Yeah.
And would you say once you are HIV positive, I mean, obviously we're talking about infants being born, but it doesn't mean that you cannot have children.
Oh yeah, there are many people who are HIV positive who choose to have children.
And it doesn't mean the child automatically.
That's correct.
Right.
So with proper planning and early medication, you can have children.
We talk about these statistics all the time, and obviously there's been a lot of assistance given to the Bahamas over the years, but this disease has been around for a very long time.
Yes.
Is there on the horizon possibly the elimination of it?
At the moment, we don't have
we
don't have a cure at the moment. They're working on a vaccine as we speak.
Okay.
It's not yet available. That'd be a wonderful day. But it's very important to push prevention. So we have to have healthy lifestyles, healthy sexual practices as adults, and certainly if you're pregnant, you have to have early intervention, early prenatal care, so your diagnosis can be made and your child can have a normal, healthy life.
Is there anything that you think our government could be doing differently, or we pretty much
I think we're doing a pretty good job with education, but you can't force someone to get treatment. You can't force someone to go to prenatal care.
Yeah.
But the Public Health Department does an excellent job, I believe, in educating our population about the need to get tested and about the importance of having healthy sexual lifestyles.
What's the process? Somebody would have been informed that they are HIV positive. What's the next steps towards, I guess, treatment and?
You go to your clinic, and your doctor will direct you into how to get into the program.
Okay.
And again, it's at no cost. So it's very important that people avail themselves.
Well, listen, Dr. Thomas, thank you so much. You're always available to us here in Bahamas Sunrise. It's kind of shocking and sad to hear that these things do happen, but there's recourse. There's recourse. Listen, thank you very much for joining us, Bahamas Sunrise.
My pleasure.
See you again soon.
See you soon.
Yeah, you're watching Bahamas Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 321st or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
In the past, I've had a lot of issues with service, data service, drop calls. I was encouraged by a very close friend of mine to make the switch, and in doing so, my service has been impeccable. The data is very fast, it doesn't spool, it doesn't take long to load, so everything works beautifully. I like to know what my bills are, and it's important that I'm able to simply just pick up my phone and know what my bill is. The front line for the Valley Boys is comprised of about 200 members. It's very important because to be a successful leader, I need to be able to efficiently and consistently communicate with them. It works that way. It's beautiful. The data that you guys provide is flawless. I'm John Williams, chairman of the Frontline Dancers Association of the Valley Boys, and I believe in best.
Welcome back. The Department of Rehabilitative and Welfare Services will observe Rehabilitation Week November 12th through the 16th under the theme Rehabilitation Begins and Ends with Me. Here to talk with us about this morning are Andrea Newbold, Senior Welfare Officer and the Coordinator of the National Parenting Program, and Lavette Saunders, Welfare Officer. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
So, the Department of Rehabilitative and Welfare Services, that's a mouthful. To which ministry do you belong, and what is the portfolio of your department?
Well, we are under the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development. And we work in conjunction with the court system and other helping agencies to provide quality rehabilitative services to our clients. And it's actually 6 units under that department, and it's one of them is the National Parenting Program, Juvenile Unit, the Adult Unit, Welfare Unit, and William A. Pratt Center and for girls, and Simpson Penn Center for boys. We also have a unit in Grand Bahama. So we pretty much cover a whole lot in that area.
And so what type of clients do you normally deal with, or what types of situations do you step in to provide assistance with typically?
Well, we have clients, and we have the juvenile clients and the adult clients. So we have parents who need parenting sessions, and they are referred through the court. So we deal with the adults and the juniors and the juveniles.
We also have the self-referred clients and clients that are referred by other agencies or other parts of Department of Social Services as well.
And is there for the juveniles, what age group do you typically find yourself working with, and maybe some of the common issues that you find yourself handling from, let's say, court-ordered clients?
Okay, we deal, our clientele are juveniles ages 12 to 18. And we have, the majority of them, would be beyond parental control children, who are practically not going to school. Probably sometimes the parents don't know where they're doing, and their behavior is so out of control. So we see them. And also we have offenders who actually commit an offense. It could be stealing. It could be carrying unlawful arms. So they're the persons who we see.
And so, for example, my 4-year-old that doesn't want to go to bed on time, I can't call you to ask for assistance with that per se. But maybe you can teach me how to be a better parent, because what's the name of the program?
The National Parenting Program.
So tell us a little bit about that.
The National Parenting Program provides classes for parents and to better equip them to be parents. You know, sometimes parents feel, okay, we're saying you're a bad parent, but we're not saying you're a bad parent. We're saying you just need some more skills because our children now go through developmental stages. And a lot of times people got to understand a 2-year-old, you can't do with a 2-year-old what you could do with a 13-year-old. So that's important for them to understand those. So topics like that, stages of child development. We do balancing finances, the power of forgiveness, handling anger, disciplining your child. We have a whole array of topics which is actually designed to help you be a better parent, and so you could deal with that 4-year-old to that 18-year-old.
And that's very important. I'm sure there are a number of parents out there who are looking for some sort of assistance, reassurance, and guidance. And so I'm glad to know, because I'm just learning about this morning, that this program exists.
And it's free.
And it's free, even better.
Free. And we also provide counseling in anger management, individual counseling, marital counseling, grief counseling. So when our clients present to us whatever is going on with them, with the counseling, we provide the counseling, and that is free too.
There you go. You know, we like free things.
Yes.
Right? So your annual rehabilitation week is coming up. Tell us what's the purpose behind it and some of the events that'll be going on.
The purpose of Rehabilitation Week is to basically sensitize the public of the importance of rehabilitation and the impact that it can have on us. And it basically helps us to show that we're all responsible and there are things that we can be doing individually to help better our society. It allows us to disseminate information to persons so they can see the kind of services we offer and how they can access our services. It also allows staff to be motivated, because there's some motivational seminar, and there's sometimes you feel like you're undervalued, so it allows to boost staff morale as well. It basically starts on, our first event is actually on the 8th of November, which will be our press conference. Yes.
And what else will be going on during this upcoming week?
Oh, we also have the church service, whoopee, is on the 12th of November at St. Matthew's Church at 10:30. It's open for the general public. Basically, all of our events are open and they're free.
Right.
And that will be followed by a juvenile forum on the 13th, which will be a different symposium for juveniles. Again, adults can attend. And that very same afternoon, we will have a parenting forum as well.
Yes, and that'll be dealing with how to co-parent effectively, because what we're seeing in the National Parenting Program, you have parents coming together, but they don't live in the same house, and so they need to understand how to co-parent effectively to have a stable child.
So how have you found that the general public has responded to the department? Do you find that persons are receptive of the type of work you do, or most of the times they don't know how they can benefit from your programs?
I think for the most part, they are receptive. I know in the National Parenting Program, because they are court-ordered, they sometimes feel that you're forcing something on them. But as they go and do the sessions, they always say, Mrs. Newbold, I'm glad I was here because I learned so much. You know, at first I didn't want to be here, but I've learned so much, and I am so thankful that we were here. And they also talk about the atmosphere in the parenting unit and how it's conducive to them learning. And so that's what kind of atmosphere we provide for our clients, so they could feel safe in a safe environment and to know that we genuinely care about their welfare.
And I guess that's the purpose of Rehabilitation Week. We're inviting the public in to learn about the department. Come on in, find out the services you guys provide, and don't be afraid, because this is all about building a better society, one family at a time.
Exactly.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So, Rehabilitation Week, November 12th through the 16th. Rehabilitation begins and ends with me. Andrew Newbold and Livette Saunders, thank you for coming on Bahamas at Sunrise this morning. If somebody wanted some information about Rehabilitation Week, where can they find that?
Yes, first of all, I would like to shout out to our Deputy Director, Kim Sawyer, and Quinton Gray, and also the staff and support staff, you know, we really work hard, and so I say yay. And also, you can contact us at 323-1878-9, and that is the Department of Rehabilitative Welfare Services at number 20 University Drive.
All right. Thank you, ladies, for being on Bahamas at Sunrise this morning. You are watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
So who really own a Nassau container port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you. I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
The Department of Statistics will carry out its annual labor force survey during the period of November. Enumerators with official identification cards from the department will visit selected households in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco, and will be calling upon residents to complete the questionnaires honestly and accurately. The information obtained will be handled in the strictest confidence and will be used to maintain essential statistical data on our country.
WTO membership will bring benefits to the Bahamas. These benefits include increased economic growth and development, increased opportunities for Bahamian exports, higher employment, better income for Bahamian workers, lower cost of living for Bahamian consumers, increased choices for Bahamian consumers, modernization in government services, and better relations with trade partners. These benefits, combined with progressive planning and execution by our private and public sectors, will produce a better life for Bahamians.
How are we making Rev work wonders for you? We are doing it together. You told us what you want, and we've heard you. Want faster broadband? How about speeds up to 1 gigabit per second? Want shorter house calls? 2 hours max. We promise. Want to take your entertainment anywhere? Well, your Rev Go Play app is here. Rev, we've heard you. You speak, we listen. Rev. You and us together.
Welcome back. It's been said that 1 in every 3 children in the Caribbean is overweight or obese. I don't know what the statistic is here in the Bahamas, but we're joined this morning to have that conversation with Dr. Philip Swan. He is the chairman of Healthy Bahamas Coalition, and he's joined by Camelta Barnes, the lead on Nutrition Subcommittee. Good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Wow.
Good morning.
When we talk about obesity, there's so many different definitions, but to say that 1 in every 3 children in the Caribbean, I don't know what that statistic is for the Bahamas, but is it safe to say that we have a problem?
Yeah, it's safe to say we have a problem.
Okay.
I think in the last statistics done in 2013, a global school health survey, we had about 40%, so it's like 2 in every 5 children who are either overweight or obese.
Mm-hmm. And when we say overweight or obese, what's the definition?
So for children, it's slightly different than it is for adults.
Okay.
And children, you look at having well, there are these charts that we use, and that's basic growth charts for children, and it has different percentiles. And in the percentiles are based on standard deviations. If a child falls in a certain standard deviation, then they're considered to be overweight. Higher than that, obese. And I think it's 85%. And above 85% for overweight, and then 90% for obese.
Obese. Okay, all right. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that, but tell us a little bit about the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
So, Healthy Bahamas Coalition is actually the National NCD or Non-Communicable Diseases Commission for the Bahamas.
Okay.
And what we are tasked with doing is elevating the concerns associated with the risks associated with high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, and the other NCDs that we traditionally don't pay attention to, like violence, alcohol consumption, tobacco smoke, age, nutrition, of course, and then, of course, we focus in on hypertension, diabetes itself.
Which are critical subjects and topics, especially in the Bahamas. It starts with what we eat, right?
Yes,
obviously, what we put in our body is going to reflect on what our body shows.
Yes.
And with children, there's a prevalence of junk food. There's greasy food, there's fries, there's the chickens. We're not gonna, but really, how can we combat this,
Childhood obesity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it's a growing problem. It's moving very fast. Overweight and obese children in our country. But there is an aspect of it that I think that we don't focus on, and that is the fact that it's called hidden hunger. And even when we think about our obese children, we think about illness, we think about diabetes, we think about heart disease and other diseases that comes as a result of obesity.
Right.
But there's such a thing that is known as hidden hunger. And when we think about it, we think about starving children, we think about gaunt-looking children. But this hidden hunger actually presents itself in our obese children as well. And it means that it's not that they're not having sufficient food to eat, and some facts are having too much food to eat, but they're not getting sufficient or the adequate nutrients, the essential nutrients that they need. And so now researchers are saying that there's an aspect of hidden hunger. They are deficient, particularly in our micronutrients or vitamins and minerals. And these, although they are needed in small amounts, these are very, very important to sustain life and proper growth, development, behavior, learning. And so, and because our kids are not getting a variety of food, a diverse variety of food, we find that they are becoming deficient in certain essential nutrients.
We're pretty habitual and creatures, and naturally speaking, and we get into these cycles of, this is what you should have for breakfast, this is what you should have for lunch, this is what you should have for dinner, this is when you should be having these things.
Right.
What constitutes, you talk about nutrition, but really what constitutes the things that we should be inputting into our bodies every day?
Well, the recommendations are based on food groups. And so we're given guidelines based on food groups. Why food groups? We look at meat, we look at dairy products, fruits and vegetables, legumes. Why food groups? Because it provides that variety that from which we can get those important nutrients that we need. So what constitutes a healthy, balanced meal is a meal that would encompass a variety of those food groups, because we need to obtain them every single day. It's like a car. If you are driving and you only put gas in the car, but you neglect to look at the oil and the other things, then you're not servicing. Well, it's the same with us. When we eat the big foods, the rice and the chicken and the macaroni and all those things.
That's just part of it.
That's just part of it, because we're neglecting to service with our fruits and vegetables and legumes and so forth.
Well, it's not just that, Dr. Swan. I imagine proper exercise is something beyond just physical education in school.
Correct. Correct. And you know, one of the things that you mentioned, what are some of the things that lead to obesity? One is, of course, the amount of calories we consume, and understanding that historically we're built to consume calories to expend. So we're not doing the things that we used to do. So we're not burning the calories that we used to burn. And so recommendations, of course, have been advanced as to how much activities the children be involved with in a daily basis. And we know for a fact that the physical education period, which happens in most schools once a week, is not sufficient. And even the break times that they have, it does not add up to it. Because there are other concerns with that as well. So you have to be realistic about how we're going to approach it. We're working with education to try to get some more activities into the day, not necessarily the curriculum, but into the day. And I'm trying to figure out how we can probably expand the day. It's just my thought here. How we can expand the day, not for teachers, but for persons who can come and provide that level of oversight for children to be more active and engage in other activities.
I would imagine all of this is a part of what the HBC does.
Right. So the idea is trying to find how we can bring as many agencies together to reach out and meet the needs of our children.
Is this committee coalition open to participation from the public?
Anyone.
Oh, anybody. Okay.
Yes,
so tell us how can people...
So we have a website, healthybahamascoalition.com. You can send us an email through that as well. You can call us at 502-4746, 4684, as well as email healthybahamascoalition@gmail.com. Our next meeting, a core committee meeting we call it, is on the 14th
of November.
Sorry, 15th of November.
Okay. Great, next week.
No, it's not the 15th. I can't remember. I'll get back to you. Check our website.
And we'll get all the information.
Yeah,
well, listen,
definitely.
Dr. Swan, Ms. Martins, thank you very much for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. It's been a very interesting conversation. Hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks for having me.
I'm Jennifer Baisden, Group Sales and Marketing Manager for Bahamas Air, and it's my pleasure to invite you to experience Houston. From out-of-the-world excitement at Space Center's Houston, the gateway to NASA's mission control, to the over 10,000 restaurants representing cuisine from more than 70 countries. Houston has it all. Come, experience Houston with direct service on Bahamas Air. For more information on flight and packages, visit bahamasair.com.
Hi, I'm Davrielle and welcome to Rev Tips, where we answer your most important Rev service questions. Today's question is, how do I set up a Rev My Account? It's super easy. To create a Rev My Account, simply visit www.cablebahamas.com and click the My Account icon. Next, select the Create Account option. Please have a copy of your latest statement on hand. Enter the information as it appears on the statement to the respective areas on the form. When you have finished, click Create Account to continue with the process. Once you've registered your account, you can use your username and password to check your account balance, view past statements, and pay your bill online. And that's your Rev Tip for this week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next time.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We are at the midway point, Mark.
Halfway there.
We almost reached.
Almost to my birthday.
Almost reached. Listen, interesting conversation always when we're talking about health. You know, was on with the Healthy Bahamas Coalition and talking about obesity and the problems that we had. I don't know you heard that statistic, but 1 in 3 children in the Caribbean are obese and 2 out of every 5 in the Bahamas. You know, so obviously we have a bit of an issue, and it begins with what we eat.
Yeah. My strategy for my kids is that when they have unhealthy food, I eat half of it. So hence I am now suffering from mild obesity, but hey, at least my kids aren't obese, right? I sacrifice my body for them.
Oh man, you are such a great dad, such a great dad. But listen, we've got more to come, man. We've got more to come.
Yes, we have Ayanna Clark back in studio, and she'll be bringing the worship with her song, Satisfied. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll be talking more about WTO, an in-depth look about what that actually means to us. We've got a couple of more months coming up. Negotiations have been going on, so looking forward to learning more about where we might be.
So am I.
Yeah, definitely. But again, before we can do any of that, man with a plan, Godfrey Burnside, with our second look with Weather at Sunrise.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you guys. Good morning, Bahamas. And your second look at weather at sunrise. We're going to look at the tropics. Around the tropics remain quiet, and the tropical storm formation expected during the next 5 days. On the local scene, high pressure shifting now towards the east and making way for a weak cold front to move near Grand Bahama and Abaco on Saturday evening. Should stall on Sunday. Second front should put you through sometime next week, Tuesday or Wednesday. In your marine forecast, winds blowing southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet in northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Saturday, variable winds at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet in northwest and central Bahamas. Easterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. And then on Sunday, those winds continue, variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas. Easterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 8:36 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 4 minutes past 3 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 8:55. Sunset will be at 5:23 this evening. Rises tomorrow at 6:23. UV index 8. Your water temperature 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase, no moon. Final weather look. Cold front moves into near the Grand Bahama Abaco area on Saturday evening. Stalls and should have second front will move through sometime on Tuesday, pushing both fronts through the islands, bringing some showers and possible thunderstorms on Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperature daytime will be over the weekend, upper 80 daytime, mid to upper 70 nighttime, but behind that front, we expect a cool down. That puts a wrap in your final look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey, our guy with the spray. Up next, we have ourselves our local songbird, and every time she comes into the studio, we all get excited because she comes to grace us with her original worship songs. This morning, we welcome back Ayanna Clark here to the Bahamas at Sunrise Studios. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. I'm excited because tomorrow's my birthday, so this is my pre-birthday concert. Right?
All right.
So you've recently had an album release concert. Tell us a little bit about that.
The album release concert was held on September 28th, and it was great. You know, my very first because this is my debut album. So incredible, and it was just a fabulous experience working with some Bahamian artists. You know.
Yeah, so there's been a series of voice notes on air and on radio that's been going around, shared locally and internationally.
Yes,
Tell us how that came to be.
Amazingly, it started with me being the president of a women's group at a local church. I started by sending out encouraging voice notes to the women who were members, and it just ballooned into something different. So we named it the Ayanna Here Voice Note Series. It's heard in Canada, the United States, London, you know. I'm amazed that it's gone that far, to be honest with you.
Why not? It's a powerful message that people need to hear. So how do I sign on to that? How do I hear those?
Once I get your number, I ask your permission to make you a part of the group.
Right.
And then you become a team member. So your contacts become my contacts. We share them all around. And that's how it grows.
That is awesome. And you're also an author.
Yeah.
So tell us about these books that you've written.
The first one was In the Hands of the Potter, which was a book about process. My life has not been very easy, but my mom taught me to see the positive of every negative. And so I turned it into something that I could share with everyone else. Nice. I'm in the process now of writing a book about worship because I adore it. I adore it. It's something that I live. It's a lifestyle of mine. And so I think people ought to know how to worship as opposed to just singing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we're about to get a good taste of what it is to worship. So I'm going to step aside and I'm going to allow you to sing. Is this a new song?
Yeah, it is. It's a song, Satisfied. That's the title. And it's from the So Incredible album. This will be the first public singing of it, I think. Yeah, I think so.
All
so
right.
It's a debut.
Live and direct here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Ayana Cartwright Clark. Satisfied.
Yes, sir.
Our cups are up and empty. We're praying for a filling of your glory and your power. We bow in sweet surrender. This yearning never goes away. Pour yourself out and we'll draw from you, Lord, till we are satisfied. Till we are satisfied. But we'll never be satisfied. Flee from your all-sufficient, omnipresent sovereignty. Yeah. Take joy in our surrender. This hunger never goes away. Pour yourself out and we'll try. We'll never be satisfied, no. All we want is more of you till we are satisfied. Till we are satisfied. We'll never be satisfied. All we want. Prostrate before you, till we are satisfied. Till we are satisfied. But we'll never be satisfied, no. All we want is more. We want more. Satisfied.
COB prepared me to be a leader by teaching me to work hard for what I want. I'm the first chief internal auditor at the University of the Bahamas. To me, that's an honor to be able to do that. I feel like I'm giving back to a university that gave me a start in my life. I'm Errol Thompson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. Are you telling me he was being all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Do you want to know more about the scriptures, the early Christian church, its teachings, suffering, other religions, the authenticity of the Bible? The Anglican Theological Institute is for you. Enroll in a 3-year certificate program. Classes are conducted from NASA and Freeport on Saturday mornings. Don't miss a class. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with high-speed internet. Contact us at 603-2481. Visit our Facebook page. Pick up an application form at any Anglican church or at Addington House on Sands Road. The Anglican Theological Institute is for you.
Welcome back. As you know, the Bahamas just recently reactivated its WTO Ascension process. At the third meeting of the Working Party on the Ascension in September, the Bahamas made it very clear that we intend to join the WTO and ascend properly before the end of 2019. What exactly is the WTO? This video explains.
Trade has been a feature of human interaction throughout history. The earliest form was barter, which was simply the direct exchange of goods and services among individuals and groups.
Trade today is mainly about currency transactions, buying and selling goods and services, business to customers, business to business, country to country. No individual or country has the skills and know-how to produce all goods and services that we need. So, we sell what we produce and buy from others what we don't or can't produce.
Trade can be domestic or international. We buy many products and services such as conch, fish, and insurance and construction services, which are produced, bought, and sold right at home. This is domestic trade. When we buy cars, cell phones, refrigerators from abroad, and seek medical care in another country, this is international or foreign trade.
Trade is of great importance to the Bahamas, as for all countries. Tourism and financial services, the pillars of the Bahamian economy, are forms of international trade. Every Bahamian wants a higher quality of life, and for this, we need a prosperous, growing, stable economy. A robust, resilient trade is essential.
Trade that is restricted or completely open or free works against economic stability. To have well-regulated, fair foreign trade, it's essential to have an impartial, internationally enabled, and respected promoter and monitor. Accession to WTO can make the Bahamas more attractive for domestic and international investors, boosting economic growth, business opportunities and profits, employment, and general prosperity. It can lower prices and improve quality of goods for consumers. It can encourage innovation through competition and intellectual property rights protection. WTO accession will put the Bahamas into a huge pool of potential trade partners. Today, of the approximately $15 trillion of global trade, 98% is done by the 164 members of the WTO. Importantly, WTO aims to lower trade barriers by establishing rules among its members to avoid restrictions on export of goods, services, and capital, and also to avoid abuse of intellectual property rights. WTO facilitates trade negotiations between member countries to promote fair dealing. As in all international relationships, there are challenges. Joining WTO will mean lowering government revenue through cuts in customs duty. There is a potential increase in international competition to some local producers owing to those lower duties and costs to government to adjust to WTO rules. Negotiations, however, can minimize these challenges and provide ways to effectively address them through rules of the WTO.
Why seek WTO membership?
WTO membership affords multiple opportunities to modernize our economy and to do more business, generating jobs, income, and prosperity for a stronger Bahamas and a better quality of life for Bahamians. WTO accession, the next step in trade development for the Bahamas.
One thing, two things, blue thing, all things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
World-class success through bold leadership. Hubert Edwards Global presents the second annual Success Summit 2018. Dynamic local and international speakers, life-changing presentations designed to fuel your success at Super Clubs Breezes on December 1st, 2018. Your investment is only $100, including lunch. Our speakers, Dr. David Burrows, Simone Edwards, Peter Hall, Shivago Lang, Duquesa Dean, Mario Moxie, Kendall Major, Carlos Palacios, Cheryl Bazard, Gowon Bo, Carlos Mackey, Simone Bo, Valentino Monroe, Wellington Hepburn, and Rodney Bain. Also, Hubert Edwards, as he shares his personal success journey. Fitness experts Nathan Sweeting from Elite Wellness and Donovan Roll of J Fitness. Hosted by Chavez Brown. For more information, visit our website at nlsolutionsbahamas.com. Tickets are available at all Cash and Go locations and online at tickets.cashandgobahamas.com.
The WTO will bring benefits, but it will also bring challenges as we adjust to global trading rules. These challenges include potential loss of government revenue through the reduction in customs duties, increased competition for vulnerable domestic sectors, and the cost of adjusting to the rules of the WTO. The Bahamas has the means, support, and a strategic plan to overcome these challenges. The Bahamas stands ready to rise to the challenges necessary to achieve a better quality of life for our people.
And welcome back to another Bahamas at Sunrise. I guess we're wrapping this thing up.
Yeah, we are wrapping this up,
We don't
Mark.
have any more guests?
You see, listen, you are so much into your birthday, but anyway.
I know, right? Next guest, me! Well, it's been a very awesome show today.
Yeah, it was.
Despite the fact that tomorrow's my birthday, I'm just going to take a moment of silence just to wait because I think they're going to bring in my birthday cake.
Listen, you guys have a wonderful weekend, Mark.
It's coming.
It's been a pleasure. We're going to wait while we scroll.
I can smell the candles. It's coming.
Gifts.
Happy birthday. Don't forget my gifts. Happy birthday to me.